Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jeffrey Epstein Show. I'm your host, Bobbycapucci, and this is Daily Drop number 97. All right, so we got some crazy news tonight to talk about. So remember they said that the original footage of Jeffrey Epstein's first quote-unquote suicide attempt had gone missing, and then all of a sudden, miraculously, they had found it? Well, folks, again, I know you're going to find this as a shock, all right? But the federal government lied once again. They don't have the footage. And the story's been broken all over the place today. It's absolutely unconscionable that this footage can be missing. How is it missing? Why is it missing? Who is in charge? Who was in charge of the chain of custody? And why was Jeffrey Epstein in a cell with Nicholas Tartaglione? Can anyone answer that question? Doesn't seem like the kind of guy you want a high-profile person in the cell with who is a gem of a witness, possibly, for the government if they were going to maybe get him to talk about some of the other things he was involved in, right? So why would he be put in a cell with Tartaglione? Why wouldn't he just be put in a cell with somebody like that Mirsky cat who was there to keep him company? Why wouldn't that be his cellmate for the whole time? Another older guy, a guy there on some, white-collar crime. But no, they put him in with a guy who is accused of 4 homicides in a drug deal gone bad, an ex-cop. Sure, that guy's not an antagonist in this story or anything. That guy's just another victim, I'm sure. I wonder why he was placed there. Whose decision was it to put him in that cell? Who signed off on that? Can we see that paperwork, or is that under investigation as well? See what's going on here, folks? You see how they obfuscate? You see how they throw up their smoke screens? And then they yell and scream bloody murder about you being a conspiracy theorist. Meanwhile, the legacy media is spinning the wildest conspiracies all over the place every single day and just telling flat-out fake news. It's absolutely amazing to see. It is amazing to see that the federal government can there's only 2 options, okay? There's 2 options. Either they're absolutely, positively the most incompetent group of people that has ever existed in the history of the country, or there are other things at play. There are other things at work. There are other fingers in the pie. Do you really believe in all of these coincidences that led up to Jeffrey Epstein's death? Is it really possible that all of these coincidences happened? The guards fell asleep, the cameras didn't work, the whole thing, guys. Really? Those are coincidences. If one of them happens, you could say, all right, chalk that up to coincidence. But all of this stuff, all of this is a coincidence. All of his lawyers saying that he was upbeat, thinking he was going to be able to beat the case again. If they want to kill this, if they want to kill all talk around this, all the government has to do is be forthright. Give us all the evidence, put all the evidence on the table. What exactly is it that you're investigating? Are you attempting to make those 2 guards into your scapegoat? Because that's not going to work for us. You're going to need a bigger sacrifice than that. Because those guards, while negligent and, not good at their job, obviously, I don't see them as a huge part of this Epstein investigation. Unless, of course, the government has information that these guards were maybe, paid to fall asleep. Who knows? Obviously, the government hasn't said anything like that. But what else could it be? What else could the government have on them besides these couple of small little crimes? And if it's just these crimes of them, being negligent on the job, falling asleep, these couple of felonies, which are, a big deal. There's no doubt about it. But I'm talking about in the grand scheme of things, in the grand scheme of this case, these are little crimes, right? So you're going to tell me that these are the only 2 people that were responsible for this whole entire systemic failure, if that's what it was? Because that's the way it looks. That looks like the way they're going, because they're the only 2 people who have been charged. Again, who was in charge of chain of custody? Who signed off on chain of custody? Who was the superior officer on duty that night? Where are these answers? Where is Mr. Barr? They were so quick to come out and rule it a suicide. But now, after they made their ruling and new evidence comes out, well, they're not quick to come out and talk now. We stand by our original statement. They sound like Prince Andrew, the whole lot of them. All right, so we're going to jump into this article. It's by the Daily News. and it is the author is Stephen Rex Brown, and it was published on January 9th, 2020 at 11:37 a.m. The headline: Surveillance video of Jeffrey Epstein's cell during suicide attempt was destroyed. Prosecutors. Not lost, not malfunctioned, destroyed, folks, okay? Surveillance footage from outside Jeffrey Epstein's cell during his summer suicide attempt, allegedly, was destroyed, prosecutors revealed Thursday. How does that happen? How does that happen? You know, I bet you if you or I were ever involved in a crime, they certainly wouldn't, the evidence wouldn't be destroyed. It wouldn't be misplaced. All right? All of a sudden, for a guy like Jeffrey Epstein, the evidence is destroyed? Wow, that's a coincidence, isn't it? The revelation in a letter filed by Assistant U.S. Attorneys Maureen Comey and Jason Swergold is the latest head-spinning disclosure from the feds about the footage from the Metropolitan Correctional Center on July 22nd and 23rd. I'm on record about how I feel about the Comey family in general. Why do we need to... It amazes me when you see this, and not just the Comey family, but when you see any of these high-profile bureaucrats and then their kids comes cruising along and you don't think there was any nepotism involved. Please. All right, why is Maureen Comey involved in this? Isn't there anyone else that can be involved in this case? Epstein attempted to hang himself, allegedly, that night while sharing a cell with accused quadruple murderer Nick Tartaglione. Officials have said, hey, yo, my name is Nick Tartaglione, and I'm going to put my hands around your throat, and I'm going to choke you to death. And there ain't nothing you guys can do about it. Oh, hey. I wonder if that was the conversation in the cell when Tartaglione was giving him the business. Swergold said in last month in White Plains federal court that the video had not been preserved. He reversed himself less than 24 hours later, saying it had been archived. Talk about the Keystone Cops, huh? Oh, wait, we have it. No, we don't have it. No, oh, wait, hold on. We have it. Wait a minute. Hold on a second, folks. I think we have it. Oh, wait, no, we don't have it. It's basically what they sound like. What is this, a Looney Tunes episode? Now the feds say that due to a record-keeping error, okay, folks, and these are the people that we're going to trust to investigate the investigators and to bring Epstein's folks to justice, boy, this is going to be a tall task. MCC staff preserved footage from outside the wrong cell, and the Epstein footage is gone. Okay, what does that mean, MCC staff? Who was the staff that preserved it? Why are they still working? How come they're not charged just like the other guards? Isn't this a dereliction of duty as well? Weren't you handling evidence? Didn't you misplace evidence? Isn't there some sort of statute against that? I mean, come on, folks. Everything is glaringly clear what's going on. The two-tier justice system is fully there for everyone to see with the shade pulled back and the light shining directly in right on its ugly face. The footage contained on the preserved video was for the correct date and time, but captured a different tier than the one where Cell 1 was located because the preserved video did not show corrections officers responding to any of the cells seen on the video. Boy, they did a real bang-up job that night, huh? Just a bunch of mistakes by the whole entire staff, right? Just a whole bunch of mistakes. Sure, that's what they want us to believe, folks. A systemic failure. Why didn't it happen when El Chapo was in that cell, or any of the terrorists? How come it only happened when Jeffrey Epstein showed up to MCC? Interesting. After speaking with MCC legal counsel, the government was informed that the MCC computer system listed a different, incorrect cell for Tartaglione. Prosecutors wrote in a letter filed in Manhattan federal court. Yo, that's a lot right there. All right, they listed a different cell, an incorrect cell. Was that done on purpose? Who did that? Was that done on purpose so that he could be in Epstein's cell with him to give him the quick choke? I don't know. I'm asking questions here, folks. What do you think? Because it certainly doesn't look normal to me. This certainly does not look normal to me. So they have him marked down on a different tier. The guards that are doing the rounds don't realize that. The guards that are doing the rounds don't realize, hey, this inmate doesn't belong here. Look, my library teacher, okay, the librarian in middle school knew if you weren't supposed to be in the library, okay? You're telling me these guards had no idea this muscle-bound, juice-head gorilla wasn't supposed to be in this cell? Come on, man. I gotta use it because I gotta blast them with this one because this is just absolutely positively ridiculous and nobody, I mean nobody, is believing this one, okay? The incorrect cell for Tartaglione, the prosecutors wrote in a letter filed in Manhattan federal court. Guess what? Nobody believes you, okay? They don't believe you in California. They don't believe you in North Dakota. They don't believe you in Washington State. They do not believe you in Oregon. They don't believe you in Utah. They do not believe you in Nevada. They do not believe you in Florida. They don't believe you in New York, and they don't believe you in Puerto Rico. They don't believe you in England, and they do not believe you in Italy. They don't believe you in Germany. They don't believe you anywhere in the whole entire world at large. In fact, they do not believe you anywhere in the whole entire universe. If intelligent beings are visiting Earth right now and they're reading the news, they don't believe you either, okay? And most certainly, positively, the penguins in the Antarctic do not believe you, and the polar bears in the great Arctic North certainly do not believe you either. This is such BS, all right? There's no way that they didn't know where this guy was supposed to be, folks. No way, no how that somebody didn't know where this guy was supposed to be. Even worse, there was a backup system for jail video footage, but that wasn't working either. Oh yeah, well, why should it be? Why should the backup footage be working? If the backup footage was working, well, then we'd have the truth of the matter. We would be able to see for ourselves with our own eyes what happened in that cell. But of course not. Again, our good friend Barr will come tell us, don't worry, folks. We got your best interests in mind, all right? We're going to crack this case. We're all over it. I saw the footage. What footage did you see, Barr, you liar? The requested video no longer exists on the backup system and has not since at least August 2019 as a result of technical errors, the prosecutors wrote. Technical errors, huh? What is this? Okay, what is this? Some office? Somebody, they had a phishing scam run on their computers and they had technical issues? I don't want to hear that. All right, tax dollars, millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of tax dollars are pumped into the Department of Justice, into the correctional facilities, into the correctional services. And you're telling me that you didn't have a system that was capable of backing this up? Go get yourself a door ring, okay? I just watched a video today of some lady who stored her door ring on her phone on YouTube about, someone stealing packages. You're telling me the prison doesn't have this technology? Yeah, okay. Tartaglione's attorney, Bruce Barkett, had asked the MCC to preserve the video days after the incident. He has said Tartaglione acted admirably, possibly saving Epstein's life. Yeah, I don't buy that either, okay? I don't buy that either. Perhaps they knew that it didn't exist, and that's why the lawyer asked for it. Maybe that happened. Do I have evidence of that? No, I'm throwing out scenarios because guess what? This is so insane at this point. It's like an episode of Quantum Leap or something, or The Twilight Zone. This is absolutely positively insane that this footage does not exist anymore. It is stunning that a video which we asked to be preserved and which the jail should have saved without a request was destroyed. More troubling are the various and inconsistent accounts of what happened to the video. We believe that the video would have strongly corroborated our client's assertion that he acted appropriately that evening and are deeply disturbed it has disappeared, Barkett wrote to the Daily News. Correctional officers found Epstein dead in a different cell at the Trouble jail on August 10th. He'd hanged himself, allegedly, in the cell which he occupied alone. The depraved financier, pedophile, with famous friends was awaiting trial for sex trafficking of underage girls. Surveillance video confirmed that no one entered the wing of the special housing unit where Epstein was held the night of his suicide, according to an indictment against 2 MCC correctional officers for falsely claiming they checked on the multimillionaire sex offender. Okay, so no one went in that night? What about the day? Was there people holding over? Were there workmen there that day? Was anyone working on the air ducts? Have we seen the blueprints? Can you get in there through an air duct? Is there other ways to get in there? That's flimsy. That's a flimsy excuse that the government's using, and the government itself would destroy something like that in court if the accused tried to use it. Tartaglione, a former Briarcliff Manor cop, is facing the death penalty for the murders prosecutors allege were linked to a cocaine deal gone wrong involving a Mexican cartel. The missing surveillance footage from outside Epstein's cell could potentially be useful to Barkett if he must argue to a jury Tartaglione does not deserve the death penalty. The ex-cop has pleaded not guilty. The Bureau of Prisons declined to comment, citing ongoing investigations involving Epstein by the FBI and the Department of Justice's Inspector General. Oh, they mean business, folks. The Inspector General is here now. He's going to blow the whole entire thing wide open. You can count on him. The investigators are going to investigate themselves again. Because, that worked out so well. They can't even hold this footage, right? They can't even preserve this footage correctly, and they think we're going to believe that they can investigate themselves correctly? No, I'm thinking we're going to need some sort of independent commission soon, folks. That's maybe what we should be demanding here. We should be demanding some sort of commission like the 9/11 Commission at this point, because we're never going to get the truth from the government. Even something as basic as this. They knew that this footage was destroyed, and they came out foot and mouth and said, oh, no, wait, it's not destroyed. Just to have to backtrack and look like a bunch of fools. It is the Keystone Cops at the Justice Department. At the very least, they've been the Keystone Cops since the late 90s. At the very least, okay? An absolute and positive rot from the very top on down. How does this occur? All right, folks. If you'd like to contact me, you can do that at bobbycapucci@protonmail.com. That's BOBBYCAPUCCI@protonmail.com. And if you would like to help support the podcast, you can do that by clicking on the GoFundMe link inside of the description box. Also, make sure you go check out the article at the Daily News. Give them some love. They did a nice article here. They got some good hyperlinks. Make sure you click on there and check out some of the pictures, etc., etc. All right, folks, I will be back tomorrow, and we're going to do it all over again. Enjoy your night, everyone.